Let's take a look at Northwestern's schedule for 2025, and here it is. We will start by breaking it down. We'll look at the non-conference. We've got Tulane, Western Illinois, and ULM in the non-conference. So they do play, a pretty good Group of 5 team in Tulane. They actually have to play that game on the road, which is just kind of odd. You don't normally see Power 4 teams going on the road to play Group of 5 teams, but it does happen sometimes. So that'll be an interesting matchup there. Western Illinois, of course, an FCS team, then ULM. A team that's more towards the bottom of the Group of 5. So that's who they play in the non-conference. No Power 4 teams. We look at who they play at home and away in the Big Ten. At home, they will play Oregon, UCLA, Purdue, Michigan, and Minnesota. On the road in the Big Ten, it'll be Penn State, Nebraska, USC, and Illinois. So only 4 road games, but they do have that Tulane game on the road. So overall, 5 road games. And that's a really tough road schedule. Penn State, Nebraska, USC, and Illinois. Penn State's probably going to be a top 5 team. Illinois could be a top 15 team. Nebraska and USC kind of wild cards, but they could wind up being pretty good this year. So those 4 games on the road obviously going to be tough. And then you look at the home games. Oregon obviously going to be a tough one. They do get UCLA, Purdue, Minnesota at home. Those are games that they could possibly win. And then Michigan I think is going to be tough. But that's who they play at home and away. How about the changes from last year? They remove Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Ohio State, Washington, and Wisconsin. And they add Minnesota, Nebraska, Oregon, Penn State, UCLA, and USC. So you look at who they lose. Ohio State, obviously that's a win, but boy, Indiana, that's a win, I guess. But you'd like to play Wisconsin again. You'd like to play Maryland again. Maybe even Iowa, maybe even Washington. When you look at who they add, Oregon and Penn State obviously going to be very tough additions on the schedule. And then even Minnesota, Nebraska, UCLA, and USC, those could be tough games as well. So let's go game by game, week by week. They will open up with Tulane on the road August 30th again. That's going to be a very interesting game. That's one of those under the radar non-conference games that most people probably won't really pay attention to, but it does intrigue me. They get Western Illinois the next week, September 6th at home. Again, that's going to be the easiest game on this schedule. Then they'll play Oregon at home on September 13th before getting their first bye week. A lot of home games early in the year. After that first bye week, they play UCLA on September 27th and then ULM on October 4th. So 4 of their first 5 games are at home, and that's 4 straight home games there. Then they play Penn State on the road October 11th, back home for Purdue on October 18th. Then it's on the road at Nebraska on October 25th, and then they'll have their second bye week. A pretty good spot for it before going out west to play USC. Then they get back-to-back home games. November 15th, they'll get Michigan, and then Minnesota on the 22nd at home as well, and Illinois on the road November 29th. So when you look at the schedule, again, a lot of home games early. A chance to get off to a good start if they can knock off Tulane. Probably won't beat Oregon, but Western Illinois, UCLA, and ULM, they have a chance to start off 4-1, and if they can do that, you look at the rest of the schedule. Can they get a couple more wins to get to a bowl game? You've got Purdue, you got Minnesota on the road, some tough, Minnesota at home. Excuse me, they have Minnesota at home and Purdue at home. So those could be a couple of wins potentially. Minnesota's going to be tough. Then some tough road games in there as well. So for me, I think a bowl game would be a successful season here for Northwestern. We look at how this schedule stacks up with the other teams in the Big Ten, and you look at their opponents this year. Their winning percentage from last year was 53%. So their opponents last year were 43-38 in the Big Ten. Pretty good record there, but that's really kind of close to the middle of the pack. It is a little bit, one of the tougher ones, but not the toughest. So it will be a very respectable conference schedule. And again, a non-conference schedule that's not horrible, but there is that tricky game against Tulane on the road. But all in all, I would say not too bad of a schedule for Northwestern in 2025.